What assignment was it? 1 point, no,
2-7.
2-7. Thank you. Does anybody have any quick questions with this? All right, definitely have one. That's good. I don't know why this is here. For 39, here we go. Let's take a look at 39. All right. So what I want to do is go ahead and give us some room to work here. All right. So again, it says find the percent of change, right? So the percent of change is simply to do what? The change divided by the original amount. Do you agree with this? So it says an index measures the percent of change of a value from a year, from a base year. An index of 115 means there was a 15% increase. In 2000, the consumer price index was 160.7. In 2007, it was 194. Determine the percent of change. You agree with me? So how do I do the percent of change? All we're doing is we are subtracting these numbers, 160.7 and 194. Do you agree? And then we're going to divide it by 160.7. You happy with that explanation? Do I need to do that, or are you good? All right. Somebody else? Anybody? Yes, good for you.
Number 5.
Let's check out number 5. Let's make sure he's good on number 5. Very good question. All of the word problems are important. All right. So here we go. It says the distance from Phoenix to Tucson is 120 miles, and the distance from Phoenix to Flagstaff is 21.7% longer. You with me? So if it's 21.7% longer, we're simply going to take 120 and we're going to multiply it by 1.217. You understand that? Because it's 100% plus the what? The 21%. You with me on this? You sure? All right. Anybody have any other questions on that homework before I just go ahead and collect it real quick? Yes, good for you.
Sorry, I accidentally did 2.8 for homework.
What's that?
I accidentally did the literal equations for homework this week.
That's okay. You're way ahead of the game. Hopefully it's correct.
Number 13?
Good for you, buddy. 13. Let's knock out 13. All right, it says tickets to a county fair are $8 for an adult and $5 for child. If you have a 15% discount card, how much will 2 adults and 2 child? All right, so listen. So how much if you didn't have a discount, it would just be how much money altogether?
$13.
So if you had 2 adult tickets, that would be how much money?
16.
Right? And 2 children.
10. So 20, 26.
Yeah. That was quick, Hanson. Good. All right. It's Monday. $26. You agree with me on that?
Yeah.
Now listen, this is the most important thing. I get a 15% discount, so what am I going to have to pay? What percent would I have to pay? If I get a 85%. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So then all I have to do is multiply that by what?
0.85.
Yes, sir. 0.85. All right, you can do that. Anybody else? Yes, sir. Good for you. Good. Very, very good. Very good. 23. Let's take a look at that. All right. All right. 23. So the cost of a new car. Now again, this is one that was tricky, I thought. The cost of a new car is $15,500. This is 25% greater than the cost of the used car. All right? So my question to you is, then what's the cost of a used car? So the new car, see if you understand this. The new car is 25% greater. So it would be 1.25 times the used car. You understand that? The new car is in math means what? Equals. Now, if you're going to do 25% greater, it's going to be 125%. Do you agree with me on this? So that would be what? 1.25 times the used. You with me? Now, where does the 15,500 go? All right. The cost of the new car is what? 15,500, right? So it'd be 15,500 is equal to 1.25x. That's right. All right. So take 15,500 and divide it by 1.25. And that should be the cost of the used car. All right. I really think it's important for us to go ahead and get started. All right. So Cole, let me know if you're good. All right. Now, if you've been sick for a while and you need to turn some homework, just put it all together. I promise you I'll be able to look at it. Just make sure the page is numbered properly so I can kind of give you credit. All right? Yeah, I think it was. That's it. All right, here we go. Homework.
Oh, I just
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at this homework because there was a lot of it. I want to give you credit for it. Let's go. I want this worksheet on percent of increase and decrease. Thank you very much. Yes. Did you give me your percent of increase?
Sorry, no, I'll do that tonight because you did the reverse order. All right.
You just have to learn more about it.
It's my brother's birthday. I'm the only one working on that is everybody's.
I know everybody's birthday.
I'm November 1st, my brother's October 11th, my other brother is August 28th.
That's not even right.
My mom is
Who else? Who else? Who else got their
Flower
birthday?
thing on
He's turning 16.
Anybody else have their paper? Let's go. All right. Get yourself together.
It's just the TI. Do you have Oh, I know how to
Okay, guys. Now, again, hey, so again, it sounds to me as if you guys are ready to go. So you got your Notability open, you got that worksheet open. Now, we're solving what's referred to as literal equations today. Basically, it's just a bunch of variables, all right, that we're manipulating. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at, bless you, that. So again, here we go. Most important one. Number one, distance equals rate times time. So we're actually solving for r. All right, so in order to solve for r, I have to get rid of the variables that are around r. All right? So r and t are tied together by what operation? Multiplication. So to undo multiplication, we have to do what? Division. So essentially what we're doing here, dividing by t, dividing by t. So you're supposed to say that r is simply d divided by t. It's very easy, and that's it. All right, that's all you had to do. Any questions? Over here, now we're solving for w. So I always like to try to tell kids underline Now, what's in the way? A minus y is in the way. So how do I get rid of a minus y? So just add y to both sides. Now in your head, some of you are good, so you could say 6w is equal to y plus 2z. Anybody have any problems with that? Any questions? Now I'm still not done because I'm solving for w, right? So 6 is now in the way. So how do I get rid of 6? You divide by 6. All right? And when you divide by 6, here we go. Divide by 6. The whole thing is divided by 6. So your answer is w is equal to y plus 2z all over 6. All right? And this is an important skill also. It's all over the SAT and also all over the ACTs. All right? So let's see if you're getting any better now. Let's take a look at number 3. All right, what are we solving for? X. So kind of underline what you're solving for, highlight what you're solving for. So we're just, again, remember we're doing PEMDAS kind of backwards. All right, so what do I have to eliminate first?
4y.
I have to eliminate the 4y. So you should be able to tell me that mx is equal to 3t minus 4y. Anybody have any issues with that so far? Yes, ma'am.
Just kind of question, why did you put
It doesn't matter. But what I try to do is, I'm trying to do it alphabetically, believe it or not, but it's not necessary, right? The other thing I want to do is, and I'll show you up here, just because I'm glad you asked me that. So notice how I put the y in front of the z, because it's alphabetical. You with me? Now, again, the other thing that's common is you want to put the positive before the negative also. All right, so there's lots of things. The order, does it really matter what order you put it in? No, as long as the actual work is correct, the order doesn't matter. Okay? So if you did negative 4y plus 3t, that's still correct. All right? Now we're going to divide everything through by what? M. So you should be able to tell me that x is equal to 3t minus 4y all over what? M. That's the answer. So we agree that's pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. All right, let's take a look at number 4. So somebody tell me what I have to do now. Tell me, Abby.
you add 5g.
Good job. So we're going to do mentally 9s is equal to 5g minus 4u. Now remember, keep in mind, when I'm moving something, I'm doing what to its sign? Just changing it. All right, that's all. If it's plus and you want to move it, it's going to become a what? Minus. If it's minus and you move it, it's going to become a what? Positive. All right, and then finally, Abby, what do we do?
Divide everything
By what?
by 9.
Divide everything by 9. All right, so we'd simply say S is equal to 5g minus 4u all over S.
Over 9.
I'm sorry, that's what I said, 9.
Sure, that's what you said.
I'm listening to Abby. All right. Here we go. Number 5. Go, Cole. What do I have to do on number 5?
Minus,
You're awesome. A, B is equal to what?
2x
Good.
plus 3c. Just 2x.
2x what? Now visualize. I'm moving the 3c to the other side.
So 2x plus.
If it's plus on one side, it's got to be, you hear me on that?
Yeah.
So it's going to be 2x minus 3c. All right? Now, here's a good question. So now, can you put negative 3c plus 2x? Yeah, that's the same. So if you wrote negative 3c plus 2x, is that exactly the same? Yes. Would I mark anything wrong? No. All right. I'm telling you, some books write in alphabetical order, and some books emphasize putting the positive in front of the negative. Does everybody hear me? I don't care what you do, honestly. Okay. Now, Cole, what's going to be next?
So you're gonna add A or B?
How is A attached to B?
Because you
So how do I undo multiplication? How do I undo multiplication?
division
That's correct. So I'm going to,
divide everything.
yes, divide everything by what though? Not B, but. That's why it's important to kind of underline what you're solving for.
Oh,
All right. So I'm dividing everything through by A. So B is equal to 2x minus 3c all over A. All right. Hopefully it's getting harder here. Let's take a look at number 6. All right. Tell me what to do.
so you would add T.
Very good.
So-
Now watch me do this, guys. I add T. I'm just going to keep KX, right? Equals 2P plus T. Everybody see how I did that, right? That's not a problem. Finally, what do I do?
Then you divide by K.
Yep, and we're dividing by K. So
So-
final answer.
2P plus T over K is equal.
That's not hard at all. Not hard at all. All right, Will, you want to give it a shot? Help me out with 7, buddy. Now, put a star by this one, buddy. All right. Now I'm trying to solve for M. Yes. Now what happens to the A's? They do what? Yes, very smart. They both cancel. Because A minus A, what happens? They cancel out. That's why this one's a little trickier. Does everybody see the A's are gone? Does everybody agree? So now we have 2/3 M is equal to R. So how do I undo a fraction? That's right. What's the reciprocal? That's right. So M is equal to 3/2 times R. Does that make sense? Anybody have any issues with that? I don't think that's that bad. Is everybody good? All right. So 8. All right. Julian, tell me about this one.
So you would subtract.
Good job. Very good. So I have 2/5 H is equal to. All right, now what? Yep, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. Now watch. You have to multiply the whole thing by the reciprocal. Does everybody agree? So it's going to be 5/2, open parentheses, what? D minus G. Anybody have any issues with that? Cole, you good? All right, let's take a look at number 9. All right, Caroline, I want you to do this one. What do I do? Subtract V. Beautiful. So 2/3 Y equals X minus V. Multiply by the reciprocal. So Y equals, what's the reciprocal?
3/2.
And then you need a parentheses. Don't forget the parentheses. Perfect. X minus V. Cole, you good still?
Yes, but you V minus.
Now, the reason why you can't do V minus X is because this, listen, is 4 minus 3 the same as 3 minus 4? No. Now, listen, this is what I always try to tell kids. I'm trying to get you to visualize this. Right? I want you to visualize this. It's a positive v on the left, right? So if I move it to the right, what do I have to do with the signs again? Change it. So that's why when I move it over here, it's minus. You hear me?
Yeah.
As soon as we pass through, it becomes minus. You hear me on that? So the v is what's negative, right? The x is not negative. Do you hear me? All right. So now let's take a look at number 10. All right, Ellis, you're up.
You would add Q.
Perfect. And what's the reciprocal? Good. Very good. Easy. Very easy. All right. Now a little bit different here, guys. Number 11. A little bit different. Sebastian, what do you think I have to do first on this one? Yes. Yes, very smart. Very good, Sebastian. I'll multiply by 5. Multiply by 5. All right, now why do we do that? Because those cancel. Everybody agree with me? So now you have Rx plus 9 equals 5H. Now what? Rx equals 5H what? Minus 9. Yes. So x is equal to what? Good. Very nice. Pretty easy. Is everybody agreeing? All right, let's check out 12. Same principle here. All right, Miss Bain, tell me what to do.
Multiply. So, 2. Yeah, and so it cancels out.
So what's 3b minus 4 equal?
Equals C. Sure. 2C.
You understand why?
Yeah.
Right, because you're multiplying both sides by 2.
And
Okay.
then 3B equals 2C plus 4.
Good job. And then what?
B equals 2C plus 4. And then over 3.
That's exactly right. Easy, easy, easy. Am I good? All right, let's look at 13 now. Now we're solving for W. All right, so what I need to do is I want to write this over. Put a star by 13 because it's a little bit harder. Yes, very good. So since we're solving for W, we have multiple W's, so we have to combine them. Does everybody agree? I want to try to keep the W's positive, right?
Yeah.
So, and again, you should be saying this is kind of like solving equations, right? So I have to move this over here, and I have to move the 2 over here. Is everybody agreeing with me? When I move something, I have to do what to the sign?
Change it.
Change it. So I would be doing a minus 2W and a minus 2W. Now, why did I put those two things together? I put those two things together because those two terms I can what? I can combine, right? So what's 7W minus 2W? 5W. Now, if I add 2 to both sides, can I add 2 and Y together? No, they stay separated. So it's going to be 2 minus Y. Everybody look up and make sure you understand why it's 2 minus Y.
Make it 2 lines.
Well, because 2 is different from Y. You can't combine things that are different. It's like saying a pencil and a pen, add them together. You can't. They're different. You add pens with pens and pencils with pencils. You don't say I have 6 pen pencils. right? You might have 3 pens and 4 pencils. All right? Is everybody good on this? And now we still have to isolate the W, so now all we'll have to do is divide by. So W is equal to 2 minus Y divided by what? Divided by 5. Because I didn't move the Y. That's another very good question. The things that I moved were the 2W and the negative 2. Do you agree with that? Right? All right, so here we go. Last one for me today. All right, everybody take a look at number 14. I'll give you about 30 seconds. See if you understand it. And then if you do understand it, you can just go on to the next one, next page if you want. Try to get done with your work early. All right, Catherine, I haven't heard from you today. What am I doing?
So you would do 3L equals Y minus 5 plus 5L.
Good. Okay, so she moved this first just over. So she went ahead and just doing all of her work is equal to 5 minus Y plus 5L. Then what?
So then would you combine 3L and 5L?
How do I do that?
So you would do 8L?
No, 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 no. I have to take this and move it over here to combine it, right?
Yeah.
So over here it's what?
Plus 5L.
So over here it's going to be what?
Minus 5L.
It's going to be minus 5L. And what's negative 5L plus 3L?
Negative 2L.
So negative 2L is equal to 5 minus Y. Now what?
So then
Keep in mind I'm trying to solve for L.
So then you would divide it by L?
Yeah. Divide by what? What's in the way?
Negative 2.
Yes. So we're dividing by negative 2. You hear me?
Yeah.
So L, now some of you think you have the wrong answer, it's just in a different form. Look up, please. All right? I know, listen to me, listen, I'm going to tell you right now what you have. When you're dividing by negative, all right, you could also have negative 5 plus Y over 2. Everybody see that?
Yeah, that's what I had.
Right? You could also have it written as Y minus 5 over 2. You with me? So even though you think it's written differently, is it necessarily wrong? No. Right? It's just how you did it. You might see it a little bit differently. You might put the order differently. But now notice what I'm going to say one more time before you get started. Hear me out. See how this negative? It became positive down here, right? So what did I actually do? I want you to look up, please. Look up, look up, look up. I actually multiplied the top and bottom by negative 1. Is that okay to do that? Yes, because negative 1 over negative 1 is 1. Does everybody agree with that? So if I multiply the bottom by negative 1, it became positive 2. Now I would distribute a negative. That's why it became negative 5 plus Y. Everybody hear me on that? All right, that's important. So if you have it written a little bit differently, it's okay. All right, it's okay. All right, now what I need for you to do is I need for you to get started on 1 through 18 now. 1 through 18. All right, should be very easy. Should be very easy. All right.
Did you say 1 through 15?
You